In the Netflix TV series Greenleaf, the character Grace, called Gigi, learned that her Uncle Mac carried dark, very dark secrets. She fought a worthy cause. Gigi went on a rampage to expose him. She attempted to confront Uncle Mac, and Uncle Mac told Gigi, "You don't know what you don't know." As the story unravels, Gigi learns more and more that she stepped over into something that she didn't really quite bargain for. Now, I love Gigi's character and her warrior like attitude. However, along the way, there were many indications that she went in head on without careful consideration. Proverbs 19, verses 2 through 3, New Living Translation states, "Enthusiasm without knowledge is no good. Haste makes mistakes. People ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord." Now, Gigi's anger was placed in the right direction, but her passion led her to a wild ride to reach her goal. Having passion is necessary, but passion needs more than a feeling to do something well. When desires are strong, the obstacles are often overlooked. Here are some common impulsive behaviors and ways to cope with those impulses. Clearing out belongings to start anew. Are you someone that's like me? I'm constantly throwing things away just to go back and look for those items I threw out, not believing that I actually threw it away. Before throwing away belongings to start over, consider, can I repurpose these items? Or do I even have enough of what I'm clearing out? Will I have to charge a credit card to replace these items? Or is this purchase that I'm about to get replacing or repairing something? Because if you're repairing something, then it's possible that you may need to start anew. But if you're just replacing things over and over again, you may want to pause. Another impulsive behavior, and I have to admit, I struggled with this one once too, is quitting a job suddenly. Consider, am I in physical danger? There are some people who are in environments that there's a physical danger to them and you may have to quit suddenly. But if that's not you, then hold on and pause. Ask yourself, do I have funds to replace this salary? And if I do, how long can I live off those funds? What do I need to go right in order to stay on this job? Sometimes we can make adjustments or we can avoid certain things in order to have time to make our decisions. Am I constantly getting adequate sleep to think clearly? If you're not getting the right amount of sleep, anything can irritate you and annoy you. You want to pause to take care of your body first and then make serious decisions. How will I benefit financially if I quit? If you don't have a way to benefit from quitting and you're not in physical danger, you may want to pause. You see, you can learn to manage emotions easier than replacing an income. Sometimes we over apologize, and this is also can be in very impulsive behavior. Consider these things. Am I apologizing for the same things? If so, why? Am I apologizing and not changing behaviors? Does the person I'm apologizing accept the apology and take some responsibility as well in the relationship? Sometimes we apologize to just getting people quiet or to ease the problem, and we're looking for peace in the relationship. But if you're apologizing often and you don't feel better about it, then you're not having peace within. If you feel worse after apologizing, then perhaps you're not in the wrong or forgiveness needs to enter the relationship. And another one, and I know I'm doing a lot of self-disclosure, but what I've also struggled with is constantly starting over. Doing better with it now, but earlier in my life, I constantly started almost everything over. There's an old saying that says, "A rolling stone gathers no moss." And you may have heard the song produced by Motown, "Papa Was a Rolling Stone." In this song is a son's request to know the truth about his daddy after his dad dies. So the mom sings to the son, "Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone." In this song, Papa had bad habits and poor choices. When you get a chance, look it up. And what we learn here is that because there was no consistency with Papa, there was no, he didn't gather anything. He didn't have roots into anything. So the more we start over, we don't get roots into what we're trying to accomplish. And just like any plant or anything that's going to grow well, you need good roots. We have to slow down and convince ourselves and be motivated to stop starting over. Managing other people's lives is also another impulsive behavior. And yes, your girl had problems with this too. What you have to look at is, do you notice other needs easily? And you might. You may be a person that's very concerned about others. You have great compassion for people and you just want to help. But you also need to pause and think, do I run to help others without considering that they are capable of helping themselves? Or am I helping others who's not really wanting my help? Am I going to interfere with their growth and them using their own gifts and abilities if I'm constantly helping? Do you pause to consider if it's your place to do what you're doing? Or are you constantly crossing boundaries? Now, you'll know if you're crossing boundaries from the response that other people give you. Some annoying, some kind of looking at you a different kind of way, giving you the eye, or wondering, why are you asking me that? Maybe you're crossing boundaries. Slow down and pause and consider that people can live without your help because they probably were doing just fine before they met you. So pause. Now, not every hardship is caused by our habits or poor choices. I'm going to repeat that. Not every hardship is caused by our habits or poor choices. I don't want to overlook the fact that some instances we do have hardships that have nothing to do with or is not in our control. Now, as for our desires, those things in our control, we need careful planning. Careful planning allows for realistic views of what could happen and the possible obstacles that may come. When you plan, you have to look at the obstacles that will come or may come and then plan how you're going to deal with those obstacles. Many of us get upset when the obstacles come because we didn't plan for them and then we quit, which causes us to start over and over again. Now, some other ways to cope would be a 48-hour rule. Take 2 full days and have good rest before making major decisions. Well, you may say, well, I don't have that kind of time. I need to make a quick decision. Well, sometimes, very few, do we have to make quick decisions. If we just kind of pause and think about them, then we give ourselves the rule of 48 hours. Stepping away from a situation to check your thoughts. You want to make sure that you are thinking rationally and not thinking with your emotions only. Now, I'm not going to say move the emotions out of the way because sometimes our emotions will help guide us, but you don't want to make a choice based on your feeling only. Journal your thoughts, highlighting the positives and the negatives of the choice, and then the possible consequence of each choice. Share it with somebody to get feedback. Now, someone that you trust that would tell you the truth. That's not someone that's going to be a yes man or someone who's always negative and don't see any positives. Careful planning includes having others to collaborate with and to give insight. When we hurry to do a thing without careful planning, we find trouble or we miss authentic opportunities. Surely we cannot know everything, but we can take the time to gather knowledge before rushing into a situation. There are some mental health conditions that can cause impulsive behaviors. Seek assistance if you want to learn how to manage those behaviors. Continue to pray while you consider your behaviors and practice effective coping skills. This has been a Skills for Living tip from the book of Proverbs by Extending Grace Counseling Services. Remember, small steps practiced consistently can create meaningful change.